Alright then guys, today we're going to be doing another Lord of SQLI challenge, and the challenge I'm going to be doing today is going to be called Iron Golem. So with this challenge, it's very similar to the other challenge that we've been doing, because if you see right here, we're supposed to guess the password for the admin user. So it's going to be very similar to what we did, where we first have to guess the size of the password, and then after that we're supposed to brute force our way through it. So very similar to what we've done in the past, but it comes with a twist. So if you see before, if I try doing like comment this out and do or ID is equal to admin, and then do the, and then after that write a comment percentage 23. We see that nothing pops out. Hello admin. They usually pop out. Reason being is that there's no hello statement being printed out for the most part. Right here, there's no hello or something. It just says query strong query. That's all it's echoing. There's no hello. Because if you look back at our previous challenge, how I have here, if hello admin ever appeared on the thing, on the, I guess, on our response, that means it was a valid query, that query was correct, or that query was true. So you're asking ourselves, like, how are we supposed to find a way, how are we supposed to figure out if our query is true or not? So that's when error-based SQL injection comes into play. So what's error-based SQL injection? It's basically is when an attacker sends SQL queries to purposely cause errors, and then after that they monitor the error for the most part. So because they're getting somewhere. So in our case, what we're gonna do is create an error, and the error that I'm going with is a very huge number. It's creating a very huge number that will cause the error to generate. So what I have right now is basically this, but what I'll do is just take out this I. So I'll try explaining what this thing is doing so far. So select ID from probably Iron Golem, where ID is equal to admin and PW. So we know this is gonna be false. So this is not gonna run. This only runs if it's true or not. And this is gonna print out any SQL query error, I guess, for the most part, of my understanding. So what we're gonna do for the most part is after this or statement, we have if ID is equal to, if the ID is equal to ADMN, for the most part, it's gonna do this multiplication part. It's gonna multiply these two numbers, and if you're to multiply these two numbers on I guess my SQL, you're gonna generate an error. Reason being, because like I don't think there's like a actual number representation for something like this. You'll get a big int error, which is big int values out of range. You'll get this error. So big int values is out of range. We'll just wait for this to load. Overflowing during numeric expression, it results in an error. So for example, the largest bit value is 9, so the following action proceeds in error. So you can't go past this large int value. And what I have right here, if the ID is equal to admin is ever true, that means we multiply these two numbers and create an error. But if it's not, it doesn't, nothing happens. And like you see right here, nothing's happening in the query. So if you don't know what I'm going for this, so every time we have a valid true statement, all we need to do is just print out an error. And if an error prints out, for the most part, and I'm gonna do admin, and I switched it over to admin. So now this should print out an error, because ID does exist, and it will print out this big int values out of range. So we know that, since we know that ID is equal to admin is true, then it multiplied these two numbers and it generated this error right here. So now we know that certain, if we set this to certain true values, it's gonna print out this error. So what we can do for the most part is if we go check it right here, I have another example for you guys if you guys don't understand it. So right here, so let's see, I have in this example a database where ID has ID, first name, last name, email, and registration date. And then for the ID is just set from 1, and then first name is John. And then right here we have I'll just zoom out a bit. right here. So we have select ID from MySQL test where ID is equal to 1. You know, we could probably just do this again. Just make it. Okay. So we have right here select ID from SQL test where ID is equal to 1 and first name is equal where first name is equal to or first name is empty. So this is not gonna generate nothing. This isn't gonna generate anything. But now we have this ID is equal to 1. And the length of first name is equal to 4. So we know that the length of the first name, which is of this one, is 1, 2, 3, 4. So if it's 4, we're gonna get the if it's the length of the first name is 4, if we find the length, it's gonna multiply these two values, which is gonna lead to a SQL error. So if you just run this, or I have it right here, I already ran it, but if I execute it again, we still get this big values out of range. So that's the error that we get. But what if we change this to 3? What's gonna happen is gonna run the 0, 1. So we're not gonna see nothing pop out. Execute SQL, and nothing pops out for the most part, because this query wasn't true. So anyway, I guess that's what we're supposed to find. That's what we're gonna do it for the most part. That's what we're gonna figure out the range of it. So in my SQL query right here, clear bat cat and then iron golem dot py. Can I zoom this in? No, I can't. I guess if you guys can see this. So we have right here is ID is equal to admin, and then we have and if the length of the pwn, and then every time we're gonna brute force this pwn with a new value. And this time I upped it up to 40. Reason being is because like I said before, I usually read write-ups when I do these challenges. So in this case, the range of it was like 32. So we had to increase the range of the password length. So by increasing the length of the password, I was able to get this value for the most part. No, yeah. So we had to increase the length of it. And then after that, all I did was just brute force this. Yeah, brute force it, and then until we got the length of it. And then later on, what I did was just do the exact same thing, but this time I basically just wrapped everything around this if statement for the most part. So this technically, you could probably use the same query, but just add this, modify with this if statement, and it's gonna try out every single part of the string, like every single letter from every single position at the string. And if it's part of it, it's gonna generate an error. And this if statement right here, if error is in the response text and the error that we're looking for is big values out of range, the ones that we usually see, then we just break out. And then right here, we also break out right here out of the loop. So if we just run this, we're gonna see we're gonna figure out the size of the. Oh, it might not work right now because I didn't put the correct cookie. So iron golem dot py. We'll go back right here and inspect element. I might need to change the cookies. Application. Yeah, I might need to change the cookies. Yeah. So we have to go back right here, change the cookie value, or else it wasn't gonna work for the most part. I don't know if it would have, or maybe it wouldn't. I don't know. So anyway, let's just change the cookie value. Then now this should work for the most part. Iron golem, and now we're gonna wait for this to load up. We're not gonna. I guess I'll input the password later on, but like you'll see that actually inputting the password is gonna take a while because it's like, see, like the password length is 32 long, so it's gonna take us a while to reach 32, and I don't want to make this video super long, so I already have the password in place. I'll just wait for it for a bit. Maybe it'll memorize this. So if you go back right here, it's already saved in the cache or history. So I think if I just do pw is equal to 0, and then we see the entire password right here, 06B5A, all of this. But if you look back right here, 06, it's slowly building it up, and that's why I don't want 06B, which matches this 06B. So at the end, if you just run this script and wait for it, you should get the password at the end of it. So anyway, I'm just gonna submit this, then we get iron golem clear. So yeah, that was the way to solve this. This was like a good introduction to error-based SQL injection, where if you can't see the query outside, you could generate an error And then if you generate an error, you're able to use that error. If you see a true statement, it'll print out that error. It'll run the statement that ran the error, and then if you see that error pop out, that means that that error was true. I know it sounds confusing, but hopefully I explained it well enough or good enough for you guys to be able to understand. Anyway, this video is getting pretty long. So anyway, that was about it. And that's all. Peace.